Right, darlings. So I am known. I am Gordana, Micic, Balkangirl. Not Modesty Blaze, Peter O'Donnell's comic character. No. She was a spy. We know that. I am. Well, they did interview me for spy 3 times. You know, imagine being interviewed for the job you haven't applied for. Very weird. And yeah, I mean, I had to say no. I didn't have all the qualifications. I didn't know how to speak English. The other day, darlings, I mean, it's interesting. I'm doing my makeup because I'm running a little bit late to the studio. I never brush my hair. You know, my son said the other day, "Mommy, what are you doing?" And I was using an instrument of torture. Yeah, there are many that women use. I was using mascara. And he said, "Mommy, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm making myself beautiful." And he goes, "But all you need to do is smile, Mummy." Who knew I could have saved all this money? Now, darlings, you may wonder, why is she wearing this lovely, sexy bitch, isn't he? Oh, Albert Einstein. Well, you are looking, darlings. Take a very good look. Take a very, very good look. You are looking at the person who is often called the love child of Audrey Hepburn and Albert Einstein. And that is because of my enormous Audrey-like love of physics. And Albert Einstein's moustache. I will love to introduce you to our first act, who helps people give all these horrible things up. He's my superhero. Please welcome to the set, Danny Walsh!
Hello. Thank you for having me at E360. Last time I had 360 E's. It was at a festival, and I woke up in a hospital bed. So hopefully this experience will be a little bit different. My name is Danny, and I've just got into a relationship.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've been together for 10 years, but I've only just sort of started to actually get into it, if that makes sense. My partner is a very creative person. She can make anything into a fucking argument. I asked her earlier what was for lunch, and she said a fucking argument. I think that explains why I struggle to put on weight. Yesterday for dinner we had a mild misunderstanding. I'm starving. These are actually really old jokes. We broke up ages ago, but I just can't let go of my favourite material. I'm a comedian first. Weirdly, when we broke up, I realised how petty a person I am. It was around the same time that Russia first invaded the Ukraine. And while everyone else was sort of worried about World War III, I was thinking, I don't mind if Russia invade the UK because that might fuck up her new relationship. And you know, that's petty. That's really petty. I just came out as bi. Polar. I've just come out as bipolar. Sorry about that. I found that if I don't pause there, no one cheers, and I just got a sad life. So just keep cheering. With bipolar, you can get mania. I try and describe it to people. I say, just imagine if you took like a shitload of cocaine. That is it. It's just really great. It's great. But on the other hand, there's also really bad, deep depression, which is kind of like any episode of EastEnders. You know how bad it's going to be, but for some reason, you just keep going through it again and again and again. I'm sorry if there's any EastEnders fans out there. Don't mean to upset you. I've got a personal hatred for EastEnders simply because my ex used to blame the fact that she cheated so often on the fact that she watched so much EastEnders. And honestly, I really think she thought I was dumb. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at your own pain sometimes. with bipolar, you can also get psychosis, where you can lose touch with reality and start to believe like some delusional things. But this is never going to happen to me because my dad is God. So he's actually comes to every gig. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. He's God. No, so I've never tried that bit before, but maybe we'll... Suddenly, God is Joe Cole. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. That's his song. That joke is one of my favourites because in real life, my dad is a drug addict. So it's always better to tell people that he's God. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's easier. I don't like to tell people what my dad's favourite drug is, so I just tell them that I was a cracksident. My mum was an addict as well, but she was addicted to cigarettes and hair dye. It was really hard to get a hug as an asthmatic 6-year-old. Again, sometimes, guys, if you don't laugh, it's just a sad man saying sad things, so please do laugh along, please. Please. Bipolar often can get me into trouble in public. I find it difficult to be normal in public. And sometimes I find it hard to tell what is bipolar and what is me just being immature. Like, I still on a double-decker bus, I still like to go to the top deck right at the front and pretend to drive the bus. Does anyone else still do this? Yeah? Yeah. So I'm on my route one day and trying not to get distracted at work because, you know, professional mindset, professional outcomes and all that sort of stuff. And this young lady, I could hear her on her phone. And one of the most disturbing things when I'm at work on my bus route is loud phone calls. But I could hear her even before I pulled over. And she got on the bus, she came up to the top deck, she walked right to the back, and she didn't even say thank you, driver, to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, just rude. But what bugged me more than the rudeness was the fact that she kept saying the same thing over and over and over again. She kept saying, no, I told the guy. Yeah, no, I told the guy. I told the guy. I turned around to her and I said, tell us what you told him. Because another reason why I hate EastEnders is I hate cliffhangers. So, but I carried on driving and she did eventually carry on. She said, I told the guy, if you don't sort your life out, I will fuck your dad and become your new stepmom. And I mean, to be fair, she's got a plan. I don't have a plan. I'm pretending to drive a bus. Do you know what I mean? Like, good on her. But, you know, we at TFL, we want everybody to have a nice, enjoyable journey. Do you know what I mean? So I turned around to her again and I said, young lady, mind your language on my bus, or I will bang your nan and become your new granddad. Long story short, I'm a granddad now.
So Danny, amazing, loving it. Well, congratulations on getting married. Is this your second marriage?
No, this is actually my first marriage.
Oh, so you weren't married to the mother of your children?
We were living in sin and also unhappiness for a long time.
Okay, well, you know, whatever you rock, it's fine. So how many kids have you got?
We've got 3.
Amazing.
But she had a child from before.
Okay.
So I raised 4 of them, yeah.
Nice. So you're an experienced father. I mean, you know, this lady, whoever, you know, got you lately, she's got a good chance of making the best out of Danny, right?
Yeah.
Now, these are, I actually found this card. I was given this by my ex-boyfriend. This is the only thing that I kept. I cut up his clothes, gave his shoes to the charity, and the pictures, I actually cut them up and, well, put them in his lasagna, but he doesn't know that. He ate his own pictures. But these are the rules. Would you mind reading a couple of them that you agree with?
The female always makes the rules. I felt like I had to say that one. The rules are subject to change at any time without prior notification.
I can already see ladies nodding there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the female is never wrong, and that was number 5. Number 6, if the female is wrong, it is due to a misunderstanding, and I assume that's on the male's part there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, misunderstanding, and you had a little misunderstanding for dinner, so you know all about it.
Yeah. Number 7, the male must apologise immediately for causing said misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Males, I mean, he said it, not me. So gave him the call.
The male must be ready at all times.
Oh, yes.
Number
of course.
15, yeah.
Well, a woman can take 5 minutes. That is.
But the female is ready when she is ready.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like underground minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever waited for London Tube? You know, subway in America. Subway.
It says here on the back that if you do not adhere to the rules, your clothes will get cut up, and so will your photos, and you will not enjoy your lasagna. That's what it says.
You mentioned your parents, and tell me if this is too painful to talk about and stuff. But just imagine you've got children now and stuff, and I imagine a lot of your kind of stories about parents are also kind of healing, reframing past experiences and stuff. But what would you say to yourself now, knowing what you know now, knowing some hard facts about your parents and whatever is true, because in our sets we often exaggerate, we lie, darlings. Yes, oh yes, we do indeed. So I know that it will be some exaggeration and stuff, sometimes not that strong, sometimes probably even worse, so we don't know, but we're using our comedy and humour to reframe those past experiences. But what would you say to yourself, apart from giving yourself a large hug, which you would deserve? What would be the kind of reassurances you'd give yourself as a young child?
First of all, I just want to add some clarity, is that my mum did like all the work on her own. I met my dad when I was 11. My mum did all that on her own with some support from her side of the family. So I appreciate my mum a lot. We've always kind of grated on each other.
What does that mean, grated?
Like we've always been able to sort of rub each other the wrong way a little bit.
Or maybe be honest with each other, authentic sometimes?
No, there was the lack of that, I think. There was a barrier. My mum thought, what does she call it? Tough love. Was the way forward.
That's what I call it, but yes, thank you for correcting me.
But that's not, that wasn't what I needed. You know, when there was one parent, she felt she had to be good cop and bad cop, but...
yes.
But either way, I'll always appreciate the fact that she did it all on her own for me. Yes. And for a long time, I didn't have any jokes about my dad at all, because in my head, that was an artistic expression of, he's not there.
But so then, not giving him any energy was the way to revenge.
It was more like an artistic choice. It was like, well, he's not featured, so he's not featured. But actually, I thought, no, he's the one I should be joking about the most. Do you know what I mean? So there's bits of him been put in now. But back to your question, I think I would just tell little me that these people are not gods; they are humans, and it's okay to want what's best for you. Because often people, when they know that you sort of idolize them, they can quite easily make what they want the priority, and then what you think and what you feel can be pushed aside. And so I would just remind myself that these are people too, people with problems, people who make mistakes. Yes. And
amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. Danny Walsh, everybody. Yay. Now, darlings, all over the world, you may not understand one thing about the next performer. You better watch it, because she, like me, is part Slav. Slavonic women, scary. Super stubborn, super intelligent, so focused. If they aim at you, they don't miss. So let's hear. Hopefully she has a sense of humour. Yes! Please welcome to the set, Maja Bloom! Yay!
My name is Maja Bloom indeed, and I'm going to be here a bit longer than a previous male comedian. I've got about 45 minutes prepared, yes. And that is because we all know women last longer! Yes, we do! Yes, we do! Yes. I tend to rub men, especially men, the wrong way. I don't know why. Do you know why it is? It is because I am actually sexy and I know it! Yes, it's part of the problem. Because as we all know, confident woman is the top global male fear number 2. Yeah. Very scary. Yeah. I mean, for us women, it's rape or murder, but potato, we're all the same. I mean, we're all the same, yeah. No, I tend to say awkward things because I was actually recently told that I'm actually autistic. I know, with those boobs. With those boobs. What? NHS? I mean, come on, yeah. People tell me all the time, Maja, you don't look autistic. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it! You don't look like... Actually, you do look like a cunt, sorry. But, no. Yeah, people say me all the time. And it's actually quite new. So I had to wait many, many years on the NHS waiting list. Yes, and after many, many, many years, finally, they confirmed that. And that is because, until not so long ago, autism was considered a primarily male condition by primarily male scientists. So, guys, men, can I just say, on behalf of all women, okay, if you want to monopolize a condition, it's fine, yeah? Genital warts, yeah? Knock yourselves out, yeah? Some of you, yeah, viewers, you might recognize me from porn. Lady never tells, but I love meeting my fans. No, not porn this time. There is a massive movie franchise called Fantastic Beasts. It is not about my boobs, no, I know. It should be. It should be. That's just what I call them in private. Ooh, my girls, yeah. No, in the movie franchise, there is this horrible, evil witch, yeah. And she murders this beautiful, innocent little baby boy. I know. It's me! Look, I actually got paid for killing children. Eat your heart out, Lucy Ledby in prison. Oh, come on. I've got 11 nephews and nieces, okay? That stuff gets annoying. Also, autistic facts, yeah? If we don't change anything, 1 in 3 babies born in the UK will develop Alzheimer or dementia. So, you're welcome doing God's work, okay? Now, of course, it's a joke, okay? This was just on the screen. And I love my nephews and nieces. And maybe I shouldn't say this joke because it perpetuates this myth, the stereotype people have that us autistics, that we have no empathy. We do. Babe, we do. I did say, how are you all doing? Empathy.com, okay? Anyway, yeah, that's a horrible stereotype, unfortunately. But I have to be honest, I'm going to be vulnerable here. Yes, I'm going to tell you something. And you don't know this because there isn't a stereotype about this. And we all know that's how we learn about life, right? So, I know. So, my name actually isn't Maja Bloom. Oh my God, who are you? Do you work for like MI6 or Russian mafia? Maybe both. No, my true family name, true story, my true family name has no vowels. My parents couldn't afford them. No, they couldn't. It's really tough, we were very poor in communist Poland. Yeah, and no vowels. And imagine, being poor at school, being bullied, the autistic child, and all you can shout at your bullies is fuck, because we had no vowels. It's very tough. Takes me back. Don't worry, by the way. Don't worry. This is a racist-friendly space. Okay? I'm actually British, okay? Don't worry. Seriously, don't worry. I just wasn't born here, okay? But I'm British. I'm properly British. Like, I know everything. It's sometimes a language thing, yeah? Like, I know everything. I know the national anthem. I've got the passport. I know the royal family, yeah? I know all the, pedophile story, princess. It's a language thing, okay? It's a language thing, okay? But, no, I don't know why. Whenever I say my family name, yeah, in show business, just because I was born in Eastern Europe, I get a wide variety of roles. Wide range, yeah. And it starts from Russian prostitute, John, I give you a blowjob. It's an Oscar-winning one, okay? And then it's Polish whore, or Romanian lady of the night, or sometimes Bulgarian housewife that fell in hard times, cost of living crisis, yeah, and she has to give a blowjob to a neighbor. John, I'll give you a blowjob, but you be quiet, okay? Husband back at 5 and baby asleep next door. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, because of diversity quota, I also, for the BBC, I get to play a cleaner. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, thank you, BBC. Yes. John, your blowjob very messy. Clean up, John. Clean up, John. Okay? And because of Me Too, true, because of Me Too, I also get to play a plumber. Yes, I do. Yahoo! Absolutely true story. I perform with my jazz band all around the country, and sometimes I go to a really posh wedding. Yeah, I sing like "Fly me to the moon and let me sing among the stars." Woo! And the mother of the bride comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God," this is me doing posh accent. "Oh my God, you sing so beautifully. You were born in Poland. My plumber's Polish." What the fuck am I supposed to say to this? Like, yeah, thank you. When I'm done singing at your daughter's wedding, I've got a wrench in my bag, so I'm going to do your pipes, okay? And then I do the pipes of your husband, because let's be honest, he no orgasm in 20 years, yeah? Right? I know it will shock you. It will shock you. No one in my family is actually a plumber or a sex worker. I mean, oh my God! Like, I had this call with my mom actually the other day, and I was like, Mom, listen. Mom, it's fine, Mom, you were young, it was communist Poland, you were young, you had to do what you had to do. Mom, you can tell me. Mom, it's fine. I knew you were a plumber. Fuck, Mom, I knew that, yeah. I don't know why, But then I thought, I'm just going to embrace my heritage, okay? I'm just going to embrace my heritage, yeah. Because, there's loads of benefits when you live in the UK of being, born in the Eastern Europe, right? Loads of benefits in show business, I mean, daily xenophobia at work, for once. And there are hundreds and thousands other benefits, like... No, I'm sure there are, so I'm embracing my heritage now. So in dating, yeah, because I used to be, very British. I'm British, so I used to go and be like, guy would like waste my time and I'd be like, sorry. I would put up with everything, And now I just think of my grandma, okay, in heaven. I embrace my heritage, and if I don't like them, I'll just say, hey, I don't like you. I will stab you in the face. And they just go, And I embrace my heritage, yeah. So, I think it's amazing. And by the way, just to finish, I just want to say my name is Maja Bloom. And if you didn't like my jokes, it's fine. It's not a problem, It's not a problem. I just want to say my friend Ivan is outside the door, okay? No, you think I'm joking? Think again, okay? Think again.
I love that. I love, grandma, very strong kind of family line.
She survived the camp, so she
survived
the camp. Yeah, she was in one of the concentration camps. Yeah, and I'm actually named after her. So my name actually is Maria, not even Maya.
Maria,
and I was named after her, but no one, including my grandma Maria, please lottery numbers. No one actually ever calls me Maria, and that's because Maria is too serious. And you have it's basically like Catherine, Katie, Maria, Maya. So I've always been Maya, but it does cause a lot of problems, and because it's not in my passport.
It's also like Maria Sklodowska, Marie
Curie. Of course, she was the patron of my school. Yes, I'll never forget Maria Skłodowska, not Maria Curie. She was Maria Skłodowska Curie, for God's sake.
That's it. The lady who invented radium. Radium, which also in Slavonic
the only woman with 2 Nobel Prizes.
There you go.
Until now. And there are not many men who have that achievement. So,
that's right. And also for having, and well done to the French guy, Pierre.
Exactly. For marrying the French guy.
Allowing her to share.
Exactly.
To share work, to share the stage and stuff. Not like Albert Einstein and Mileva Maric Einstein. He took the Nobel Prize, he paid her the cash. It's okay. I'm over it, darling. I'm over it. And you are also an actor.
I am an actor,
I'm staring at your boobs. If I was a guy,
they have names.
They have sexual harassment. Are they real?
Well, yes, with the push-up. So yes, of course.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
I wish you had mine.
They have names. Yeah, this is
okay.
So this is Francine, and she's from a very poor family in Portugal. That's 5 brothers and sisters. She came to London to have a better life. But,
also, she would be if you're right-handed. That would be a
smaller
boob.
Yes, she's always poorly. Yes, and this is Nicola from Russia, and she came to London. She was born as trapped in a male body. Came to London to explore her feminine side. So yeah.
So she's quite abundant.
Nicola, no, she's bossy. Yeah, yes.
She's abundant.
Anyone who dates dates me knows that she's a bunch, you know.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, I have no such thing going on here, but perhaps I should give them a bit more personality. Yes. So you also teach, and you are an actor.
I'm an actor. Yes, I'm an
So
actor
naturally-
and a jazz singer, and now I do a little bit of stand-up comedy. But when I'm not performing, I teach English. Yes, I love the English language. I have a degree in it. I have like a Cambridge certificate in it. I might soon be teaching actually for the British Council.
Yes.
So yes, that's sort of my off stage thing.
Wonderful, yes. And what is your favourite character to play that you find the closest to you, easiest in fact?
So of course I am kind of known for playing a baddie. And I always say, we had a saying that, you know, baddies are not, we're not bad, we're just more committed. So that was the saying, yes.
It's
true.
a role, isn't
yes.
it? Yes.
I mean, it is fun
Yes.
to play someone who's very evil in a movie where it's kind of clear black and white, because it's just obviously, you know, at the end of the day, it's a fantasy movie, right? So I think if it were a movie based on a true story, that's really difficult. So a colleague of mine, Eddie Redmayne, he played the serial killer. That's a true, you know, based on a true story, and that must be incredibly difficult, I think, because you have to really understand the reasons behind. So I would say Betty's,
So
yes.
kind of like in method acting, you really have to kind of get into the character
It's
more and live
yes,
in
you
their
have
skin
to, yeah.
almost.
I mean, even if it's not, even if someone does not do method acting, I think you have to really kind of, the role that you play really kind of lives with you for a while. So I think it's if it's based on a true story, I think it must be heavy for an actor.
Yes.
So but I think anything where, I mean, I have to be honest, and this is what I do say in my set, but I do love playing anyone who's not just a racist stereotype, because I would love to just play a woman or a wife or a bored housewife rather than, you know, a Polish cleaner, Russian, and I make jokes about this, but it is true. It's 99% of what I get, and then you just kind of like look at it and think, oh my god. So if you get something that's different, it's always a joy to play just a character, basically. So with whatever choices they have, where you can kind of create that, rather than you have to kind of go by whatever stereotype the writer had in mind. So,
yes. Well, you know, stereotyping goes on anywhere, and that prejudice. I'm actually, funnily enough, scientist, and I'm going to be playing a scientist. Very small part, don't get too excited. But I'm going to be playing, you know, my love marriage that I use in my jokes as well. So I totally relate to that. But it would be lovely to make a prostitute, you know, I would love to.
I mean,
imagine the costumes you'd be wearing. That would be very exciting.
I teach you
Please.
very good.
Very good.
Very good is expensive.
Yes, and I'd also like to get better at blowjobs. I mean, you know, it's just that.
5-star review on myblowjob.com is there. If you know 5-star, I kill you. But,
Lovely.
It's a very
we
good
shall talk after the show.
strategy, yes.
I mean, there should be. There ought to be some lessons, you know, because not just if you're playing a spy or if you're playing an Eastern European woman, there ought to be lessons how to give a good hand job.
Yeah.
I think, and how to give a blow job and stuff like that. And, you know, not just for the parts, but for the life.
I would teach the audience, but I just think they can't afford it. Sorry. I think at this stage it's legendary. So it's like Barney Stinson from, you know, How I Met Your Mother, legendary. It's my hand jobs are...
Maybe we can get our sponsors to do something about
maybe,
that.
yeah.
Let's kind of just send it out into the universe, see what comes back, you know. But I think it would be useful. It will save a lot of marriages. Wonderful. And out of particular kind of stereotypes and prejudices and stuff, you already showed in your comedy how you transcend that and how you deal with that, kind of reframing it and stuff. But what is the one that you would say, well, actually two, on the opposite sides of the spectrum, like the most annoying and the kind of one that is the most endearing to you, that you're kind of starting to accept?
So, I mean, if you play someone who is an immigrant, and, you know, I am an immigrant, so I've spent longer sort of half of my life here.
You're an immigrant.
Exactly. But
what
I mean,
makes an
but
expat?
now I would, that's the thing. I think an expat is someone who feels still, you know, let's say someone French goes to America and they feel very, very proudly French. Now, I sort of grew up here as an adult, so I came here for the first time when I was 17, so I actually identify much more as a British person, because when I go to Poland, it's the country of my childhood. I have some students from Poland and they tell me, oh, we say this, and I'm like, you do? Because I never heard this, because, you know, I kind of haven't lived there for a long time. So I identify as a Brit, and that's why it annoys me that I get something and I'm just a stereotype of someone from Eastern Europe, rather than, you know, because I am actually British, and I am, and I feel very British. But so if it would be someone who sort of has overcome something, that I wouldn't mind.
Yes.
What is annoying is when you kind of have this idea that every person, for example, this is the way I speak, right? So I can have a bit of an accent.
I love your accent.
I'm
love
trilingual. My sister's French, so I can also, I came from France. It's a bit hot in the studio. I don't know about you, but it's a bit very hot. Okay, I don't know why. Not every French person speaks like this. Not every Eastern European person has a strong accent. What annoys me is when you get this idea that every person from, I don't know, the bloc, and every Polish person, by the way, would tell you they are Central Europe, not Eastern Europe. Right. But I just had to point that out. Central, yes. So this idea that it's just one kind of type, and what even annoys me more is hypocrisy. So people who say they obviously don't do it, but then they kind of do it. And I think it's not just, obviously I know about when it happens to people from Eastern Europe, but I'm sure it happens to other kind of stereotypes. And I'm more than happy to be open to changing my expectations, to have, but you have to have writers who are open to doing that, who are open to challenge norms and stereotypes, and you have to write new things. And I would say to any actor, unfortunately, the best way to do it is to write it yourself.
That's it.
So that you can kind of challenge, stereotype of, I don't know, a Brit in an American movie always being, a baddie, right? That's another stereotype, right? And British actors even complain about this. Then you have, I'm sure there's something about Spanish people. I'm trying to write a little comedy thing, and hopefully that will kind of make fun of all these stereotypes and challenge, if you challenge yourself and you're thinking, you can potentially learn more about life. So I would love to have roles where you challenge these stereotypes, where maybe an immigrant is not always, I don't know, someone who struggles and then they don't have money. And it's so, it's everywhere. I don't want to name the very popular Netflix TV series that just came out. There are two cleaners. Obviously, they're Eastern European, but they dress like they found Oxfam from like 1975, and literally that's all they wear. And I'm like, even if they have to have a strong accent, why they have to look so horrible just because they are cleaners from Eastern Europe?
So thank you for that. And what's the most endearing one? That you kind of go, oh, it's so cute, or oh, you were so stupid to believe it.
I have to be honest, I love, certain roles in fantasy genre are really fun, because you kind of, playing any kind of mystical creature or wizardry, etc., that's really fun, because you can kind of really go, full in it. So anything, I don't know, in if you think about shows like The Witcher, which was actually written by a Polish writer accidentally, Andrzej Sapkowski. So originally, and The Witcher, yes, it was a story. In the books were written by a Polish writer, Andrzej Sapkowski, and but any kind of fantasy thing, because you kind of you can transcend any stereotypes, reality, and it's just fun going full blast in certain emotions. So for an actor, it's really really fun, even if they're kind of shot in a realistic way. So
and witches, I come from the family where actually witches are regarded as actually the champions of nature.
Yes.
The medicines that would come from nature, that would not be this kind of the chemicals and stuff like that, but it will all be natural, that your body processes much, much better. And they were often chased and eliminated, exterminated, because they would kill the business empires.
The stereotype of a black cat bringing bad luck is because women who very often were maybe single, where maybe they knew about natural medicine, they would have cats, and that would mean that they didn't have pests, so they stayed healthy when there was a plague. Right. And for that reason, for having a cat, they were actually punished and called witches.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
From one witch to the other, they being witches.
Thank you. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maja Bloom. Lovely to have you. Thank you so much. Wonderful.
I'm Dr. Audrey Tang, a chartered psychologist, and on my show Mental Health Matters, we take a deep dive into all things mental health and well-being with the experts. So join us at 8 a.m. PST on Thursdays on the Fresh Takes channel, because mental health matters on E360 TV.
So I was always hoping, they've been telling me for years that I'm the one wearing trousers in my relationship. I think I have finally found my husband, potential husband, comedy husband, who will wear a skirt for me. Yes. Please welcome to the set, wonderful, the one and only, Callum Mackenzie. Woo!
Thank you. Exactly. That is why I'm here, not for the jokes, to find a wife. It's the only reason I ever leave the house nowadays. That is exactly it. But Gordana was talking about Scotland. We've had a beautiful international show so far. We've had Logan Maja from Poland, Gordie from the Balkans. We've got Francine, the Portuguese left breast. Got a global show going on. But I've got a little bit of a international themed question to kick you off because I've been planning my holidays recently. So I was wondering, give me a clap. Anyone here has a dream holiday destination? I love that. Give me a clap. Like trained seals in here. Okay, our beautiful young lady at the front row. Where's your dream holiday? Cuba. I genuinely asked this question at a gig last night, and a young lady at the front said Cuba, and I was like, "Oh, is it the food? Is it the culture?" And she just went, "I like cigars." So Cuba. Fantastic answer. Great. It doesn't beat my favourite answer I've had to this question this week, though. I was doing a family-friendly gig a couple of days ago, family for like kids in the audience, and there's this little boy, maybe 6 years old at the front. I thought, let's ask him, what about you, kiddo? If you could go anywhere, where would you go? And he looked up, looked me right in the face, and went, home. Which, right in the feelings with that one. Oh, take the mic, you're in charge. But I think it's a correct answer to this question, okay? Because my dream holiday, any British beach, okay? Any British beach, and I'll defend it, okay? I love British beaches. I think they're fantastic. Because I do not think there is a better place than a British beach for sitting back and just watching parents shout at their children. No beach does it better. You go to some sunny, white sand paradise. You hear things like Hermione Winthrop Swingtop Wheelie Bin. You stop doing that or I will think about taking away one of your iPads. Bognor, on the other hand, on Bognor Pier, I once genuinely heard a dad shout, "Jason, put that down or we're not collecting your insulin." Like, that is parenting, isn't it? Oh, you want to go Brazil, see monkeys hang onto trees? Nah, Skegness. See if Jason hangs onto his foot. That's not to say, though, to be fair, it's not to say British beaches are flawless places, okay? Because Skegness, for instance, is also home to the Skegness People's Art Gallery. And spending time around an art gallery, as you may know, means spending time around the worst breed of human in existence, men trying to impress dates in an art gallery. Oh, the second they walk through the door, it's, oh, this one. I am lost for words. If only that were true. You see the man, don't you? Simplistically drawn, but clearly a man and running. What's he running towards? This abstract arrow before him. It's a metaphor. This man is us running blindly, pointed by capitalism. But if it is us, why is it a man? Because when society makes an image with which we must all identify, it is always a man. And you're standing there thinking, that's the fire exit logo. You piece of shit. Oh, mad. It's bad. I've one guy in my life who behaves like that. Okay, and I should be careful talking about him because he's dating my best friend, but he is the biggest dick I've ever met in my life. Okay, he's one of those guys. He's one of those like cool hipster art school guys who always wears a beanie but rolled up. Do you know that? Like rolled up on the tip of the head. That makes you think, how do you wear a condom? It's awful. Even his job. He had his job. He's one of those people who has the most normal job in the world, but describes it in the most absurdly elaborate ways. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I create roles, okay? Basically, clients come to me, describe their needs, and then I create a role to fit their situation. He works at Subway. Oh, I create roles. You smell like ham. That's what you do, Michael. You smell like ham. Awful. I've not said any of this to my friend, by the way. I'm far too scared of confrontation. The thing I'm most scared of, though, and this is a real condition before I get judged, the thing I'm most scared of, talking on the phone, okay? This is a real thing, okay? It's called telephonophobia. There is genuinely an NHS webpage for sufferers with, hand to God, a number you can call. Fantastic. I get so anxious on the phone. I get like breathless. My voice goes hoarse. Like the other day, I was getting ready for a family function. Okay, my mum said, "Oh, call your sister. Check we're not wearing the same dress." I went, "Can't I just text?" She went, "Call your sister. Check the dress." You know you've got a problem with phones if when your sister goes, "Hey, what's up?" you go, "What are you wearing?" That's not okay. It's even worse when you follow it up with "Mummy wants to know." Terrifying. I've got the phone thing, got eczema, car sickness. Do you know how hard it is to pick up a young lady when age 29 you still get car sick? Just, "All right, babe, want to get a taxi back to mine? Maybe in the back we can tell the driver to avoid sharp turns." There are very few takers. I think most embarrassing ailment, though, I am middle class. Yeah, give me a cheer if you're middle class. Okay, fuck off. There are more people in the room than that. Okay, I heard your voice, lovely young lady at the back. I think the technical definition is Times New Roman, not a cheer over me. It is weird, though. It's weird. Middle is the only class people don't take pride in. Okay, because like upper class, oh, very proud. Spend your days kicking back, feeling smug, washing your cock with a pheasant. Working class, no one is more proud of their origins than a working class parent who has given birth to a middle class child, okay? You happen to be middle class boy, working class mum. 95% of your youth is having your mum remind you how much harder her childhood was. Just, "Oh, what's this? You've got Heinz ketchup." We never had Heinz ketchup. We had Tesco own brand. Okay? What's Tropicana orange juice? We never had Tropicana. We had scurvy. We had it hard. Like, I will never forget the first time we got organic carrots. Just organic carrots. Hearing my mum in the back shouting, "If I wanted veg when I was a child, I had to steal it off a snowman's face." Wow. Should probably hide the hummus. Terrifying way to grow up. It's very scary. But I did, to be fair, I absolutely loved my upbringing, though. Like when you do stand-up, a lot of people ask you, "Oh, what's your comedy inspiration?" You know, growing up, was your comedy inspiration? Like Billy Connolly, Richard Pryor, Mr. Tumble. But I think I grew up in a tiny village in rural Sussex, okay? Like proper, rural, secluded, old-fashioned little English village. Like the kind of place where left-handed people still have to wear bells, you know? And when you grow up in a tiny English village, I think the correct answer to what is your comedy inspiration is village newspaper headlines. Oh my God. I once read an article in my village about the heaviest baby ever born. Okay, heaviest baby born in my village. Headline, "The elephant in the womb." That is comedy gold. Okay. So I would like to leave you, ladies and gentlemen, with the finest local village headlines my place has ever produced. Okay? We ready for this? Number 1, local jockey caught doping. Headline, "Get off your high horse." Headline 2, local man caught masturbating in rural Australia. Headline, "Beating around the bush." Number 3, husband cheats on his wife with a golden retriever. Headline, "Man's best friend with benefits." Subheading, "Giving the dog a bone." And finally, the best of all, the headline of my local paper this week, okay, story, "Teenagers throw pasta at village church." Okay, that's pasta on church. Pasta on church. Headline, "Knocky on heaven's door." That is inspiration.
Now, Scottish. That's
Yes.
the best thing about you.
Yes.
I grew up in Sussex.
I grew up in
Grew up
Sussex.
in Sussex, right. Have you worn a skirt before?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
suspender belt?
No, I mean, I'm a Mackenzie. I have Mackenzie tartan, even though I
Right.
sound like this.
Do you
strictly
know,
speaking.
once I actually found out, do you wear pants underneath though?
I personally do, but my proper Scottish relatives who have a less
I
horrendous
know.
English voice don't.
They
yeah.
don't, and thank God for that. Oh, thank you. Because once I ended up on Eurostar
Yeah.
in coach 7, I think it was, and they were, the whole Scottish rugby team was there.
Oh, wow.
And their supporters. I mean, it was just basically like 150 people from Scotland. It was amazing. And they were drinking. It was like 7:19 from Waterloo. The Eurostar was
Oh,
there.
yeah.
They were already drinking at 7:19. I thought they were the coolest men on this planet. And, but 1 hour into, like, we're entering the tunnel and stuff, everybody's, like, super happy and pissed
Yeah.
and stuff. And I found out that I asked them a question if they wear
yeah.
pants, and they just showed me. They didn't even answer.
Oh, that's wonderfully brazen.
That
wonderfully
was wonderful.
Scottish.
I will
Yeah.
never. Can you please pass the thanks on?
Okay, I
me?
will,
That
to the
was
nation
just
of Scotland.
wonderful.
I will.
Wonderful memory. So you do wear. What a shame. What a shame. Yes. Okay.
No, it's not. It is. The imagination is more flattering than the reality, is the way I'll phrase that, for sure.
So both of your parents Scottish?
No, just my mum.
Oh, just
my
your
mum.
mum. Okay, right, yes. Now, what is the best Scottish thing that you kind of think about you as a person that you're bringing?
What I feel
Yeah,
like,
every
I
day.
don't know. Ooh, I have an incredibly Scottish name, and 90% of my relatives are Scottish. But I feel like there's an interesting, because England that feels that we have a bit of a soft spot for Scotland. Scotland
Yes.
absolutely hates England. One of the things my Scottish
Really?
relatives, they despise it, yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that my Scottish relatives take most pleasure in is telling me how not Scottish I am. Because
Really?
I sound like this, yeah. I sound like I'd only go to Scotland to shut down a mine. I feel like I'm not allowed. So they've kind of alienated me from that side of the family.
Oh my
and I have to
gosh.
identify as English fully.
Really?
Yeah.
How is that for you? Is it traumatic?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the most English trait is being slightly traumatized. I feel like that's what we have together as a
Yes,
nation.
yes.
Yeah.
And actually braving it, stiff upper lip.
And stiff upper lipping it, exactly.
Stiff upper
Exactly,
lipping it.
exactly.
Because, and I love what you said about the classes. There's upper class, definitely working class and stuff, and then the middle classes. And in my opinion, and you seem to be agreeing, it's they're disappearing. The middle classes are dead.
Middle class is disappearing. Do you think? Yeah.
Well, they're dead. I mean, all living on life support machine, really.
Yeah. But I suppose it also depends what you call class as well. If it's a money thing, then yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
But I think they are dying as well because they don't properly take pride in being middle class.
Yes.
It's not a cool one.
Well, it's also about education and kind of status
Yeah.
and, the way they are making money currently and stuff like that. I mean, that's how I read. But I don't know about that. I come from old money. There is no money. That's how I know that somebody's old money. All these other things are nourish, and we don't like that. You've got to have a class. So class is a different thing. I like
Class
that.
is interesting though, because like I started doing stand up in America, and what I got told about the big difference between English and American comedy is pretty much all of American stand up is linked to race, and you can that's the stereotypes they really draw from,
Yes,
and pretty much
yes.
all of English or British stand up is linked to class.
Yes.
And if we lose class, then we're going to lose the thing that our
Yes.
stand up community is built on stereotyping.
Ah.
Because we adore class in Britain as a thing that we're allowed. It's the thing you're allowed to make fun of. We get very uncomfortable poking fun at race in Britain in a way that people don't quite in America.
You are amazingly physical in your comedy.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. I don't know. I've
Because
never-
it's endearing. It's just super. It's acting. You're using the angles. You go
Yeah.
to the other side, and you play two characters, and having a dialogue. It's amazing. Have you been to acting school?
No, I've never done any kind of acting. I went to a weird forest school thing where we
Weird. How
Yeah.
weird.
Pretty weird. We didn't get
Tell.
You don't get taught to read and write until you're 11.
Oh, that's
to
lovely.
Maintain the state of childhood innocence and purity.
Loving
And
it.
Yeah.
Because also you have more zest, and you
More
learn
zest.
much faster.
And we had not compulsory maths, but we had compulsory whittling. And
What is
knitting.
whittling?
It's where you get a piece of wood and you just...
I love it. That's so therapeutic. That's why you're such a gem, Callum.
Maybe.
Because
It's
of
why
your
I'm prepped for the
education,
apocalypse
which
more
is
than
more
anything.
like Scandinavian style. You know, in Finland, they do
Yeah,
this. Their kids go to school 3-4 hours a day. They're playing. Literally.
Yeah.
They're building the life skills.
Yeah.
So where was this school?
In the middle of Sussex, in Forest Row. It's Steiner, is what it is. It's very Germanic as
That's
well.
right.
But yeah, it's big in Scandinavia.
Well,
big
they
in
give
Germany.
themselves the best, and then the rest of the world is something less
Exactly.
original. Yeah.
But in terms of where the exuberance on stage comes from,
Exuberance. We love
is,
the old vocabulary, my darling.
it kind of links to that because we were told that the most important thing in life is to have fun, and I have more fun on stage if I'm being more stupid, I guess maybe is the
but
word.
that's lovely.
Exuberant,
yes.
yeah.
You play your inner idiot. You let that inner idiot come out.
Exactly,
To the full
exactly.
potential. What when you're actually joking and when you're diminishing Scots, when you're diminishing English? This is a very deep question. Parents, do forgive. Do forgive parents. No, I'll put him on the spot. Yes. Do you feel more comfortable joking about Scottish or English?
Oh, English for sure. Yeah. Because I see this was about to be a very patronising answer as well. Because I feel kind of classist punching at Scots, and that's maybe because I have this English ego that I see it as punching down. Anyway, English is top of the pile. We can't make fun of anyone because we're superior. Yeah.
I think we know all the answers. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, that is Callum Mackenzie. Join us next week for more Skits and Quibbles, and we hope you enjoy this show. And stay well, stay